like this word is almost impossible for most native English speakers to pronounce. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it is so great to have you. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in the beautiful wine region of Lower Franconia, Germany. So I have been living in Germany for many years now, and it has been the most life-changing experience for me. But in saying that, living in Germany has come with a lot of challenges, and one of the biggest challenges for me has been the process of learning the German language. It hasn't come naturally to me, and I have to say I'm very proud of how far I've come when I think about where I came from. Just yesterday actually, my 10-year-old daughter, who was born and raised here in Germany, corrected my German pronunciation, as she has been doing since she was really little. And I like it when she does this because it helps me. It helps me to sound more German, you could say. I don't know if I'm ever going to sound German, but it really helps me with my pronunciation when I have my little teacher helping me out. And I thought it has been a while since I have made a pronunciation video, so I thought today, why not make a video sharing some easy, well, so-called easy German words that non-Germans, or more specifically native English speakers, cannot pronounce. So I'll be sharing these German words. I'll first show you how Google pronounces them. I will be sharing a little clip of my daughter pronouncing these words, and then my husband, and then I will try and pronounce them and try and improve my pronunciation. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then stick around. Before I get into that, I would like to give a huge thanks to today's sponsor, italki. I get so many people asking me, Antoinette, what is the best way to learn the German language from scratch? And I always say full immersion is amazing, and if you have the chance to be fully immersed in a language, then take that opportunity. But in saying that, it's basically impossible to start up a conversation in German when you can't speak German. So I highly recommend getting professional language lessons. A fantastic language learning platform which I highly recommend is italki. With italki, you can book personalized one-on-one language lessons with professional native speaking teachers. Trial lessons start at just €1, and each teacher sets their own pricing, so you can find one that suits your budget. Unlike traditional language schools, italki is very flexible and allows you to fit your customized lessons into your own personal schedule. This means you're able to learn what you want when you want without even having to leave your home. I've taken some refresher classes with italki, which I really enjoyed, and as a busy mum of 3, I particularly appreciated the flexibility of the classes. I just love the fact that I was able to communicate with professional, native speaking German teachers from the comfort of my own home. The lessons were quite similar to traditional language school lessons, with so much more flexibility. So if italki sounds like something you may be interested in exploring, I have left a link for where you can do so in my video description. If you use my discount code Antoinette10, you will receive €5 off your first one-on-one lesson. Okay guys, so let's jump into it. This first word, I am kind of embarrassed about it because I have mispronounced this many times on my channel. My daughter pulled me up on this, and some of my German subscribers pulled me up on this too. This word is Dirndl. That is how Google pronounces the word. I'm going to now show you how my husband pronounces this word. He is a native German speaker. We live in Lower Franconia, so some Germans may notice a little bit of a Franconian influence in his pronunciation.
Dirndl.
And this is how my daughter Amelia pronounces the word.
Dirndl.
You can also hear my little boy in the background. So the way I've been saying this word for the longest time is Dirndl. And I actually made a video recently where I said this word over and over again, like over 20 times. Amelia heard me and she was like, that is not how you pronounce it. So I'm gonna try and pronounce it the proper way, like the German way.
Dirndl.
Dirndl. I don't know how I got Dirndl out of Dirndl. Am I saying that right?
Dirndl.
So as a native English speaker, I am looking at how it's written, and I just automatically pronounce it as Dirndl. It's so wrong. Dirndl.
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 Dirndl. Did that sound better? I hope so. Okay, so this next German word is one I just find really hard to pronounce. No matter how many times I say it, I just can't seem to get it right. So this is Google's pronunciation of the word
Rührei.
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 Okay, so Google, my husband and my daughter and now me. Ruai. I just don't think that sounded right. I'm going to try again. Ruai. It is so hard because I just can't get that gurgly sound in my throat.
Rührei.
Ruai. I think that may have sounded a little bit better. Ruai.
Rührei.
See, I keep wanting to just roll my R's, but the proper German pronunciation is more in the back of the throat. That's what I'm hearing. But it's really, really hard to do as a native English speaker.
Rührei.
Ruai. I think that may have been a little bit better. Now I can't do it at all. Ruai. I think that was a little bit better. But it's something I have to really build myself up to pronouncing. When I'm just saying it quickly, I just always get it wrong. I end up saying ruai. And then I've missed that kind of throat thing, if that makes sense.
Rührei.
See, I'm wanting to...
Rührei.
Ruai. Let me know how that sounds. Okay, so this next word is a country name. We visited this country recently and I really struggled to pronounce this in German. In English, the word is Czech Republic, but in German, this word, this country name is...
Tschechien.
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 Tschechien. Actually, I don't think that was too bad. A lot better than how I have been pronouncing it. Hold on, I need to hear it again.
Tschechien.
Tschechien. I feel like that sounded okay actually. I don't know what's happened because I went from really struggling to pronounce that to being able to kind of pronounce that. Well, at least it sounds to me like I pronounced that right. Tschechien. 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 Let me know. Once again, native German speakers, how did I do with that one? Okay, so this next one means chicken in English, and with my Kiwi accent, my New Zealand accent, I think I pronounced that funny in English anyway. But in German, this word for me is really hard to pronounce, and every time I have to say it in German, I always stumble a little bit, and I'm always worried that I'm going to muck it up. So this is Google pronunciation.
Hähnchen.
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 See, I mucked up before I even started. No, I can't say it.
Hähnchen.
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 Hähnchen. Hähnchen. Hähnchen. Is that right?
Hähnchen.
Hähnchen. I mean, I think that sounds okay.
Hähnchen.
Hähnchen. I don't know. Let me know, because apparently I pronounced that wrong. I'd love to hear your feedback, or maybe I don't want to hear your feedback, but I want to be able to say this word. Okay, so this next one means peach in English, and this is how it's pronounced in German, according to Google.
Pfirsich.
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 Pfirsich. Pfirsich. Pfirsich. Honestly, my German is actually better than I'm making out. These are just particularly difficult words to pronounce. I'm not that bad. I hope I'm not.
Pfirsich.
Pfirsich. It's a word that doesn't come naturally to me. There are other German words that I say easily, like they roll off my tongue, but Pfirsich is not one of them. I'm going to try again.
Pfirsich.
Pfirsich. That's the best I can do. Okay, so this next one is something you hear all the time in the German language. Germans love to say this.
Okay.
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 Okay. Like, in English I just say okay. But apparently if I say it like that, it's just a dead giveaway that I am an English speaker. I want to sound more German when I'm saying it.
Okay.
Okay. Does that sound better?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Does that sound more German? I don't know. I mean, I don't have to sound like a German, but I just want to sound less like an English speaker, if that makes sense. Okay, so this next word means female teacher. And yes, in German, there is a different word for male teacher and female teacher. So the word for female teacher, according to Google, is...
Lehrerin.
I feel feel like this word is almost impossible for most native English speakers to pronounce. So that was Google. This is how my husband pronounces it.
Lehrerin.
My daughter.
Lehrerin.
They sound a little bit different. Hold on. They pronounced it a little bit differently from each other.
Lehrerin.
Lehrerin.
Okay. I'm almost picking up a little bit of that Franconian influence in my husband's pronunciation, but I may be wrong. Lehrerin. That sounds terrible. Like, I can even hear myself that I'm saying it badly. Lehrer. Because it's like that in your throat that you have to say it twice. Lehrerin.
Lehrerin.
Lehrerin. I just say Lehrerin. That's how I say it, and Germans know what I'm saying. But if I want to sound like a proper German, I need to work on this word.
Lehrerin.
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 Lehrerin. See, I think my husband pronounces it a little bit more similar to me.
Lehrerin.
But then when I hear my daughter pronounce it, it sounds really, really complicated, like Google, how Google pronounced it. It's got that throat thing that I just can't do. Like, I need an operation on my throat. Lehrerin. Oh. Lehrerin. Germans know what I'm saying. Okay, so last but not least, this is a word I have been struggling to pronounce for years, and every time I try and say it in German, my daughter always corrects me and says that I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I try and copy her and I can never copy her properly. So this means right, like you've got something right in English, and according to Google, this is pronounced
Richtig.
According to my husband, it is pronounced
Richtig.
According to my daughter, it is pronounced
Richtig.
Richtig. Richtig. Richtig. Richtig. I don't know. I don't think that was too bad. Richtig. I think that sounded okay. But apparently it's not. Okay guys, so that was actually kind of embarrassing. It really pushed me out of my comfort zone because I feel as though my German is not as bad as it's coming across on this video. It's just a whole lot of really difficult German words in a row that make me sound like I cannot speak German at all. But for the most part, I do think I can pronounce quite a few, like most German words, pretty well, to the point where most Germans can understand what I'm saying. And I think that's the main thing with languages. It's like the main goal. You want to be able to be understood by native speakers. You want to be able to communicate in the language, and I feel as though I can communicate really well in German. I just need to work on my pronunciation with certain words, and I don't have to sound like a German, I've realized. I just have to be understandable to Germans when I'm speaking German. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope you found it entertaining. I'm sure some of you had a bit of a laugh listening to me, and that's okay. That's okay. As I've mentioned in other videos, something that held me back a lot when I first started speaking German is the fact that I was really scared about how I sounded to Germans. I felt like Germans were laughing at me, and even though they weren't, it was all in my head. Germans have only ever been very encouraging during my language learning process. But to me, I wanted to sound like a German, which is basically impossible for a native English speaker. I know there are some extremely talented native English speakers that barely have an accent when they speak German, and there are not a lot of people like that out there. And I actually don't think there is anything wrong with an accent. Germans have an accent when they speak English, and I really like it. I think it's a sign of bravery. It's a sign that you are speaking a language that is not your mother tongue, and that is one of the bravest things you can do. And so accents are fine. Like, I will always have a New Zealand accent when I'm speaking German, but I need to work a bit more on my pronunciation of some words so I'm more understandable, I guess, to Germans. Also, before I go, I wanted to remind you about italki. Italki is an incredible language learning platform. If you are interested in checking out italki, I have left a link in my description. I also have a discount code for you. If you use my discount code Antoinette10, you will receive €5 off your first one-on-one lesson. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would love you to consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I have a goal to reach 60,000 subscribers. It is taking me so long to get there. If you would consider subscribing to my channel, only if you genuinely enjoy my videos, but if you would consider subscribing, that would mean so much to me. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!